Hello, welcome back to my channel. We continue to review our textbook, Construction Materials, Methods, and Techniques, Building for a Sustainable Future. This video is about chapter 17, and that is steel frame construction. So there are a few things that we will learn in this chapter, and those are the types of drawings required for structural steel buildings, also the procedure for fabricating and erecting the structural steel frame of the building. Then we'll get familiar with the fastening techniques used to join structural steel members, and we will describe fire protection procedures for structural steel members, as well as the steel framing systems used manufactured components. So first of all, let's talk about the structural steel drawings. The design drawings are prepared by a structural engineer. Usually it is the in-house engineer that the architects collaborate with, but sometimes it's the outsourced engineer. And in that case, the collaboration is a little more difficult, but still not impossible. So usually the structural engineers put together the um, design drawings such as general drawings, then the frame, then that will include general notes, that will include connections, that will include different fasteners, materials, and also they will provide the specifications and the erection plans. So when we talk about the steel frame, so the shear stress is produced when vertical loads are applied to a member, creating a deformation in which parallel planes side relative to each other. And a moment is the property by which a force tends to cause a body to which is applied to rotate about a point or line. And you can see that here there are a few sections, there are a few drawings here in the textbook. Also, bending moment is the moment that produces bending at a section of a structural member. So there is connections that are illustrated here. And also the next chapter talks more about the connection that are identified as shear connections, moment connections, or connections controlling both. So the structural steel frame needs to be stable, and the building using structural steel or concrete or wood must be designed to resist wind, life load, and earthquake forces acting upon it. So, and actually, the connection and the frame depend on the different regions. So, if it's an earthquake prone area, then of course the connections will have to be designed a little differently than for the area where there are no earthquakes and no lateral loads. So when we talk about the structural steel connections, it can be field welded to column, shop bolted to beam, and then it can be shop and field welded heated connection, as well as the field bolted to column, shop welded to beam, and a few different connections. So please definitely review the drawings here, because there are simple connections more um, as well as stronger connections as well. So, and also the specification for structural steel buildings defines two types of moment connections. fully restrained and partially restrained. So please review those. That's the moment connection. Also, there can be a riveted connection as well as the bolted connection. And there are a few different bolts that are used for the connection. And please review those, and you can see the slip critical and other connections here. And also you can see different washers that and nuts that are used for those connections. Please review them if you need to specify them. There are also welded connections. And welding entails heating metal on two adjacent plates and then add an additional molten metal between them to form a molten pool. Again, please review different types of that as well as different fasteners for metal building construction. So those are important to remember. So when we talk about the erection process, steel erection is considered one of the most dangerous of all construction activities. And of course, that involves the heavy duty equipment such as cranes, for example, and a lot of preparation needs to happen before the steel erection happens on the site. So please review those charts here, and you can see actually what is required for the steel erection preparation, because there are a lot of different iterations before actually the crane can come to the construction site and the building can be assembled. Because first of all, it's the design of the steel frame components, then the shop drawing. So basically that is put together, then the steel is delivered to the site, then it's sandblasted, then it's actually prepared for the assembly, then the crane road needs to be already there for the cranes to go there. Also, if it's bolted or welded connection, so that equipment needs to be ready. So there are a few different things that really need to happen prior to actually the process itself. The next subchapter is decking. So metal decking is the it's made of steel sheets and have been bent or corrugated to improve the strength. So, and we can see that in many buildings in roof and slab applications. So basically here also review the sections. You can see types of wide flange column connections. That is important for the steel frame erection. Please review those. Also, there are pre-engineered metal building systems. We need to learn about them as well when we talk about the structural steel. And that is a complete building system that has been engineered and fabricated to specs. So review the types, and also when we talk about the metal buildings, we need to double check that with the authority having jurisdiction or the local building department, because not every jurisdiction allows metal buildings. So please make sure that that is compliant. So there are other types of steel construction, and those are used in the bridges. They're used for the open web joist, of course, that is made of steel, and also light gauge steel framing is used to in the residential construction as well. That's kind of like wood frame construction, but slightly different. And let's talk a little bit about the fire protection of the steel frame. So Structural steel is an incombustible material that will not melt even during a building fire. However, when subjected to um, extreme heat, its properties, actually including strength, are affected. So we need to protect the structural columns and other structural elements. And there are a few different types to do so. So it can be actually protected by concrete or masonry encasement. So basically that goes around the steel column. And you can see sections in isometric drawings here in this chapter. So please definitely review those. And this actually wraps up our chapter 17. So the next chapter is chapter 18, and that's wood, plastics, and composites. And that starts our division 6. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you in chapter 18.